Okay, so Teresa in the chat room says, I just went through a season of mental trouble, and a supervisor spoke to me often in a derogatory tone. I feel awful. I made some mistakes, but I'm better now. She still treats me awfully. What do I do? Whoa. Okay, this is what I would do, but I'm going to put an asterisk by this because very few people I find are wired like me, and that confrontation is not an icky thing for me. Confrontation is like waking up in the morning. I just don't mind it. So I would sit down with the leader and go, hey, you may or may not know to the extent that I went through some mental stuff, and I know it affected me. I know it affected my work, but I feel like it affected us. Do you think that my mental stuff that I went through, do you think it affected us? Have you lost trust in me? Don't accuse, ask. You got to be very careful here. So that's how I would do it. I'd let them respond. Well, yeah, or whatever. Maybe they go, no, not at all. And go, okay, because this is what I'm feeling, and I'm better, I'm healthy, I'm working on it, but maybe I've got some insecurity around this, but this is what I'm seeing and feeling, and I'm not accusing you at all. I just wanted you to know what I'm seeing and feeling, and can you shed some light on this so that I can walk away here today going, all right, I'm ready to get back at it full time. That's what I would do. If you do that and the behavior doesn't change, then I would say I'm out. But I would find something. I'm not the guy who believes in pulling the eject button unless we have a parachute. So if it doesn't go well after that, and by the way, that's a confrontation. But confrontation doesn't have to be nasty, but it should be direct. And so I would handle it that way. And if it doesn't go well, then you say, okay. And you act like you're staying, and you start looking, and we go find something, and then we walk away. Because that's just not a healthy leader. And that's not going to get better. I just got news for you.
Do you have any tips for people who might be conflict averse like myself?
Tips for people that are conflict averse. Yeah. Write it down first. Start with writing down what you want to express, or in other words, what you're feeling. Then you can kind of go to the next level if you want to. Well, I want to ask it this way. Write it down. Type it up. And there's nothing wrong for people like Madison that are confrontation averse, which this is a great question. There's nothing wrong with you sitting down and going, hey, listen, I gotta get some stuff off my chest. I gotta talk to you about this. I'm nervous about all this. So I wrote some stuff down. I'd like to read it to you. Who cares? That way you're clear and you're confident, and you're not allowing your nerves and your emotions to take over, because that's a difficult thing. So if you struggle with conflict and it's the nerves and the emotions around it, write it all down, rehearse it in your head, prepare it, and if you have to, read it. And that will at least ease your mind and allow you to be more present. Very good question.